In this video, I'm going to teach you how to round off numbers. So let's get right to it. To round off a number to n number of digits, complete the following steps. Step 1. Look at the n plus 1th digit. That is, the very next digit just to the right of the nth digit. If this n plus 1th digit is greater than or equal to 5, simply add 1 to the nth digit. Otherwise, if it's less than 5, leave the nth digit as it is. And finally, step 3, simply remove all the digits to the right of the nth digit if it is a decimal number, or otherwise set them to 0 if it's a big number. Now let's go through some examples of rounding off numbers. The first example is, what if we wanted to round off 1,342 to the nearest 10? To round off this number, first let's really look at this number. Really look at this number carefully. If you look carefully, you will notice that the tens digit is 4 as shown, which means that the very next digit just to the right of 4 is 2, which is the units digit as shown. Since the units digit, which is 2, is less than 5, this means we must leave the tens digit as it is, and then simply replace everything to the right of the tens digit. Therefore, 1,342 rounds off to 1,340. For the second example, let's say we wanted to round off 57,941 to the nearest 1,000. Well, once again, let's really look at the number 57,941 very carefully. You will notice that the thousands digit is 7 as shown, which means the digit right next to 7 is 9, which is the hundredths digit, again as shown. Since the hundredths digit, which is 9, is greater than 5, this means we must add 1 to the thousands digit, and then simply replace everything to the right of the thousands digit with 0. Therefore, 57,941 rounds off to 58,000. For the third example, let's say we want to round off 1.348 to 2 decimal places. So, let's look at the number 1.348 very carefully. You will notice that the second decimal place is 4, which means the digit right next to 4 is 8, which is the third decimal place. Since the third decimal place, which is 8, is greater than 5, this means we must add 1 to the second decimal place and then remove everything to the right of the second decimal place. Therefore, 1.348 rounds off to 1.35. For the fourth example, let's say we want to round off 4.597138 to 4 decimal places. Once again, let's really look at this number very carefully. The fourth decimal place is 1 as shown. This means that the digit right next to 1 is 3, which is the fifth decimal place, again as shown. Since the fifth decimal place is less than 5, this means we must leave the fourth decimal place as it is, and then just remove all the digits to the right of the fourth decimal place. Therefore, 4.597138 rounds off to 4.5971. Now, let's do some more examples. Let's say we want to round off 4,281 to the nearest 100. Well, the hundredths digit is 2, which means the digit right next to it is 8. This is greater than 5. Therefore, we add 1 to the hundredths digit and replace everything to the right of the hundredths digit with 0. Therefore, the answer is 4,300. Now, what if we want to round off 36.492 to the nearest whole number? In this case, since it's the nearest whole number, we look at the units digit as shown, which means the digit right next to it is 4, which is less than 5. This means we leave the units digit as it is, and therefore the answer is 36. What if we want to round off 0.00738 to 3 decimal places? Well, the third decimal place is 7, and the digit right next to it is 3, which is less than 5. This means we leave the third decimal place as it is, and therefore the answer is 0.007. Another example is, what if we want to round off 8.0192671 to 5 decimal places? Well, notice that the fifth decimal place is 6, which means the digit to the right of that is 7, which is greater than 5. This means we add 1 to the fifth decimal place, and we remove everything else to the right of that decimal place. Therefore, the answer is 8.01927. And finally, if we want to round off 4.1539 to 1 decimal place, well, the first decimal place is 1, and the digit right next to it is 5. Therefore, since the second decimal place is 5, we add 1 to the first decimal place, and we get rid of everything else to the right of the first decimal place. Therefore, the answer is 4.2. I hope that everyone has learnt from this video. If you have learnt from this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.